Hey people, Czar Swamp here, and welcome to episode 39 of Danganronpa. Last time, I will admit, I had difficulties, and I had to look up a testimony part. I am ashamed that I had to look that up. I am really sorry, but there were no other options. I'm once again so sorry. Now let's keep going.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Wait a second. The handwriting. I want to see basically the truth books for the notes. For the blueprints. Real life justice. That J is a little curved at the bottom. Okay, a little curl. I don't know. I actually think that basically Hifumi wrote the note.
They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
My guess that Hifumi actually gave it because he had competition for AI.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip.
Yeah, why do we keep overlooking alter ego's role in this?
Leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Are you trying to take Sebastian Debeste's role?
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Oh my gosh!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway,
Fight!
when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that
Alter
be?
ego?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
Right.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Well, my guess is that at that point, Hifumi was just barely clinging to life and was just going as much as he could.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
Hiro cannot realize why he's being insulted.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
Well, the hammers were originally from that room.
Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Now, considering the increasing damage, I believe Celeste was hit with 1, and that Hifumi was hit with 2.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Oh no, it was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture on this case won't be complete until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. No, okay, sorry, I'm getting a little freaked out because just whenever we do this, I don't know. Spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Actually,
Check
no.
out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
Boom! Okay, good thing I did hold off. But really. I'm gonna have to look up that one that website just even
The
an
murder
actual
weapon
thing.
wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Right, who would want to work together with him in
The
the
way
first
the
place?
graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
And especially since this is Hifumi, he would probably be the type to take charge and the entire thing would be ordering everything around, even if it's your plan. We did talk about how there would be no reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought first, but... Okay, let's get this going. Spotless hammer. That's not going to have anything to do with it, I don't think.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on
Okay,
this.
let's see this. Just see it.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay. I'm going to scan it again just for two murders.
Based on the rules that even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply...
That is how the rule was.
But that only really applies if there's one
Okay,
murder,
let's see this. Let's
right?
see this.
In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay. Kamui said there's no chance to be able to work together on this.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible that two people work.
That is.
But that only really...
In this case, however, there were two murders.
Come on, I want to just get this done.
Based on the rules that have been laid out, even if
Okay.
more than one person, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true.
Boom, okay. I'm getting the hang of it. Kyoko didn't get me this time. I redeemed myself from that last episode. Ugh.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
And they wouldn't make a point to bring it up if they weren't going to use it.
What do you mean?
That'd be just a waste.
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
If anything, the accomplice is more of a risk because they can easily sell out the black.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, If there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Over alternate self.
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
And Hiro is not even close to enough to doing something like that.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Not really, because Hifumi had plenty of motive to kill Taka. I mean, really, we all had motive to kill Taka. He was an asshole that needed to be stopped, but really, Hifumi had more motive than anyone. Because of Robo-Chibi. Kyoko must have noticed that from the very beginning. Which is why she said to not look at them as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Exactly, that's what I've been saying the entire time. It's like she knows what's happening before it happens. Like, it's almost unnatural.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's string?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a serious number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debate up until now, the case has always unfolded when you consider all that. There's only one person who seems to fit. Kyoko, care to explain? Me? What are you basing this on? I would very much like to hear your explanation. I guess I don't really have. You have no basis for it. In other words, so then, could you point to the real killer? What? That's what they were flying! The killer. Because when you consider all that, there's really only one person to fit. It's not me. It's not Sakura. Hina? Okay.
Shoot.
Okay, that's not right either. What the? Because there really isn't. Talk about damn Walker. Wait. Okay, this is going to be a crack pick. I am dead serious. It is going to be the ultimate crack picks. So please forgive me if this sounds entirely foolish, but I'm going to say Robo-Chibi.
Shoot!
What? Ah! The true killer manipulated and in the end murdered him. In the debate up until about this case... Wait. In which case... Okay, we were trying to prove Hiro the entire time, but I guess we're saying Hiro now. Okay! I'm sorry if things sounded off. I was thinking that Robo-Chibi, alternate self, alternate identity, I can't remember that name. Just really. I was figuring out, why are we going roundabout again? Hold on, we haven't even shown that there's absolutely no way Hiro could have done this. She's right, he was in the robot costume and everything like that. But we're serious. I'm just a logically modified who belongs as a human being. I know, you're still a human for now. Anyways, here's not the killer. What the? Oh my freaking god! What is this? Ah. Celeste? Is it you, Celeste?
Here's my answer.
Celeste! Oh
It was
my...
Celeste.
How? How? How?
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
The doing voice acting so apparently must be true, even though I'm confused. Ow!
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
Seriously, this is out of left field!
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
If I bring up the damn milk tea incident, I swear I'm going to punch something.
But I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Please, I don't even know.
It
Please.
is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
So, the hit paper, the screaming, and carrying the suspicious individual.
I got it!
Yeah, you're right!
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Okay, now I'm seeing it, I guess I was overthinking things.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Yeah, that would make sense why she would just act so nonchalantly to Hifumi be dragged away.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Okay, now I'm just utterly embarrassed that I'm doing all those selections. Even assuming Robo-Chibi. I mean, that's just a crack theory. But it's one of those joke theories, because Chibi would be that great. Chibi would ascend in the form of robotics. Now, we still don't even know what happened to AI Chibi. So what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, that strange costume, and that also explains why she shook off her injury so quick. I just assumed it was partially just Celeste's power, like literally just she's that capable of bluffing and doing luck. He ran up as soon as I screamed. I was walking the stairs, but he headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been. Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office! This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll leave the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Well then, Makoto and Hina, you two come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko Byakuya and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
We thought she was attacked!
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I was certainly not expecting this. I can't imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything The whole thing was one big act!
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste
Okay,
took me
now
to the
everything's
bathroom.
really starting to click into place. I'm starting to feel even more embarrassed.
Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
He must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around fighting and confused. We're gonna die here. We're gonna die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Okay, I am so sorry about that. Like, really, I'm just embarrassed. I was even going along with just Hiro's crackpot theory of just AI chibi. But like I said, I just find it weird because they both were into him.
Yeah, I see what you're talking
But
about.
this now makes all more sense.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make any sense. But what is he alluding to? Then make your argument. Monokuma File 3.
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Actually, no. I'm gonna see what
And
the
that
rest
is
of
all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I was trying to hit the Monokuma File 3.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die,
Just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay, I'm starting to get embarrassed by this. I'm overthinking things. I'm overthinking them all. I'm sorry that I don't get
really
tired.
enjoying
The sight of us standing around, they must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
Okay, I'm really embarrassed. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it again. They're all thinking Makoto did it. You know Makoto. They have no reason to suspect Makoto. Yes, I'm going to give it another shot.
I refuse to give up yet!
It's nice that they let you retry. I don't care, like really, if I don't get as many tokens, ooh, real scary, I don't get as many tokens. I'm trying to guess, I'm trying to think. I'm not even sure what the
All
option
I
is trying to
said
get.
was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused.
I'm just gonna see it again.
They must be positively elate. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
Okay.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
When she said that, she should have only. Oh! Oh!
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened, and they must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
What? I was just trying to say, I know that's what we're doing. I swear, why?
All I said was...
I'm gonna keep this up until we're done.
They must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
What? I know what we're trying to get at, because we should only know that the first death. Why is this happening?
They must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and they must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
Is this it? I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Okay, I swear, I don't even know.
Shoot!
Okay, I'm just gonna go look through this a few times. Maybe I can just do that.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
I don't care. I'm gonna look through this a few times.
We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it?
I swear, I'm
what was
just
so
not getting
strange
this.
about Celeste's comment?
I'm not just getting this. I'm really not. Swear to God, what is it?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated.
What is
We are
it?
all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
Okay, I'm just gonna guess
And
something.
that's all it takes
I'm going to do
finish
this ultimate block
It's
because I
obvious,
cannot
isn't it?
figure this out.
What was so strange about Celeste's
Okay,
comment?
I'm just gonna select so strange because maybe I have to have it where Byakuya says it's so strange. Because apparently Byakuya is so strange. It's this
All I
magical
said was-
statement.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
Okay, no, that's not it. That's not it.
We are going to die. Just
This
like
is what's
those
going to be
guys
called.
died.
What the hell? I'm starting to guess the game's bullcrap now. Because after so many damn minutes of thinking, I am pissed. I am pissed.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Okay, I'm gonna end this episode off here because I'm angry. I'm angry because Byakuya is so strange. That's mystical. It's freaking ass mystical. Because Byakuya knows it's that strange. So I have to say it. If I was guessing that logic, you heard me guessing it. If I couldn't connect the dots with that damn evidence chain. I swear, I really appreciate that you guys stuck around to watch this episode review, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever that you want. And with that, I will see you later. Bye.